today we're going to be talking about how I scaled my junk removal business to $5,000 per day, guys, within 12 months. I'm Andrew, serial entrepreneur, software engineer, and junk removal business owner. I started a junk removal business in California as a tool to return to my passion of technology and programming. I invite you guys to stick around, hang out, follow me on my path for becoming a junk removal business titan to building a $1 billion home services app to compete with House Call Pro and Workies. So yeah, let's get started. Good morning. It is 6:28 a.m. and we are off to go take one of the trucks back into the shop. I got some DTC error codes, something about a misfire, like a catalyst, something, I don't know, so it said a misfire, one of the cylinders. So this goes back to one of my previous videos where I talk about used trucks. Now with dump trucks, it is a bit different because they're so expensive. But like if you're gonna get a truck and a trailer, like an F-150 and a dump trailer, try to get new. It's so easy to walk into a dealership. Yes, you're probably gonna pay a higher interest rate, but if you're going all in on this business, you will get at least the 2 jobs required to make that payment. Because that's all you really need. 2 decent sized jobs. Now I guess it really depends on what city you're in, but you know, average job size, $300, $400, $500, you'll make that payment because these dump trucks, every used truck, constantly in the shop, it's just not worth it. You end up paying more than you would for the monthly payment. So here's my dump truck. It's got 2 error codes. Going back in the shop. I've already spent like $4 or $5 grand when I first bought it to fix everything on it. Here we are again, 1-2 months later, back in the shop. We're finally here at my mechanic and he is the shit. I'm actually gonna plug my boy, Cristobal, because he is the coolest motherfucker there is. If you live in Ventura County, Para's Auto Repair. Cristobal is the man. He's fucking awesome. I mean, I live all the way in Marina Del Rey. It's an 1.5-hour drive and I refuse to go find another mechanic because he's just the shit. So I drive an 1.5 hours one way. But anyways, this is gonna be a day in the life, a week in the life, I don't know yet, but we are going to just kind of show you what I do. I'm not on the truck anymore, so I'm more tipping the guys out at the end of the day, handling finances, making sure Google ads are running properly, seeing how much I'm spending, seeing how much I'm making sure I'm always in the green. You know, finances, truck issues are always coming up, so I'm always taking the trucks in and out. It's just, occasionally I will help out or swap trailers or pop in and surprise them because I've got 2 crews running full time. I did have 3 crews, but I'm actually gonna pull back the 3rd crew for now because I need to work on scaling my LA ads to get enough jobs for 2 LA trucks to run full time. Also looking into doing, after we get that 3rd LA truck running again, getting a 4th location. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I'm just waiting for my lady to pick me up and go get some breakfast because it is 7:30 a.m. Whoa, cool. Look at this cool new painting we got. All right, we just finished dropping off the truck and we went shopping for some art. Now back to work. All right, and this is what we're dealing with today. The brakes went bad or something?
The brakes are bad.
So my beautiful 2021 F-150, you guys almost got in a car wreck basically?
Yeah, got pretty spooky for a second.
Pretty spooky. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with today. This is what I deal with all the time, taking trucks in and out of the shop. This truck has almost 60,000 miles though. This truck has been awesome until now. I'm gonna take a look at it. I'll be right back. All right, so here is the update, guys. Just dropped off the 2021 F-150 at my mechanic shop, and I picked up one of the dump trucks that was in the shop that also needs to be fixed, but this is usable. So I'm gonna have them take this for the day. I'm gonna take my other white truck and trailer back to the yard, park it, because this is much easier for them to drive around than the old white Chevy that I have, because that thing is not really meant to tow a lot of weight. Its max tow is like 5,000 pounds. The trailer itself is like 3,000, and here they come. Here comes my crew. guys. I just want to record this really quick because I think this is pretty cool. We did a job for the LA Chamber of Commerce for a total of $11.95. That's a full load, my man. A full load. Hey Jedi, are you ready? What are you drinking? Is that chocolate milk? That is. See? Yeah, you're so cute. Alright guys, I'm going to show you the secret. Oh man, oh, there's one left. This is the secret right here. Caffeine-free Diet Coke. Caffeine-free is what saved my life, and I'll tell you why later. Well, look who it is. Look who we bumped into.
Ooh, NyQuil. That's ages 6 and up, so I can't get a 10.
Say hi. Say hi. Here we are at the cleaners, and we are picking up our laundry. When we get super backed up with laundry, we just come right around the corner, drop our laundry off, wash and fold, and it's done. Because sometimes we be getting backed up, and it's so worth. I mean, we have so much laundry. Two kids, me, my lady, and you know, she does a good job upkeeping, but sometimes it gets out of control with the two kids, especially our son. He's a maniac, so he doesn't give us much time to work. But anyways, they get like all of it washed and fold for like anywhere from 50 to 80 bucks depending on how much you bring. But let's get our laundry. Guys, quick tip. What I did to find parking, because you know warehouse space is expensive, is you can use a website. It's called neighbor.com, and you could find people who are renting out spots in their parking lot and stuff like that, and you could find more affordable. You have to dig through a lot of people who are willing to work with you and the things that you require. Like I have to show up every morning at 6 a.m., but you will eventually find somebody cool. So check it out. Let me show you. We have our truck and 2 trailers right here. And right now I am organizing the truck. You can see how messy it is in here. So yeah, gotta handle all this right now. It's pretty bad. All right guys, so today we're gonna be talking about how I scaled my junk removal business to $5,000 per day within 12 months. I think it was month 10 or 11, we got to $5,000 consistently a day, because that's when we actually got the second truck running. We're getting ready to get the 3rd truck running, and then hopefully a 4th soon. So guys, I need you to bear with me. I have notes, so I'm gonna be looking down. Just, you know, bear with me. I am new to YouTube, new to talking to the camera, and one thing I do want to make sure that you guys, you watch part 1 and part 2 of how to get to $1,000 per day. That's a good starting point. Part 1 is 14 steps. Part 2 is 4 steps. Follow those steps. You will get to $1,000 per day. It is possible to get to $1,000 a day as a one-man show. You could probably even mostly do it by yourself if you price right, but you will need a guy here and there. It's probably better like once it starts building up, you just have a guy that helps you every day. It's very possible. You don't even need to be organized. You don't need to have any of these systems in place, that which I'm going to go over, because I was doing $500 to $1,000 a day just using a beat up box truck that I rented, 200,000 miles. The thing was falling apart. It had a ghetto tag writing on the side. I was so embarrassed when I pulled up to like rich neighborhoods. So anyways, watch those videos and let's get started. And also, one more thing I came across, and JRA, Lee Godbold, did a presentation with Work Ease. It's a 40-minute PowerPoint presentation. It only has 5,000 views on YouTube. It's probably one of the most informative videos. It's what I saw when I was researching junk removal. Actually, I found this video before I ever found Sonoma Strong. You gotta watch it, it's awesome. Please like and subscribe if you like what I'm talking about, and please comment down below what you guys want me to talk about next, because I am new to this. I'm trying to just give what knowledge I have. I'd like to know what you guys would like me to talk about, and we're gonna deep dive into some of these topics. Whichever topics you want me to deep dive, please comment down below, subscribe, let's go. Now we are going to start with, and I've said this in both videos and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to go in depth and I'm going to show you guys resources. I'll put it in the links or message me. Tip number 1, guys, scaling your Google ads even more. In part 1 and part 2, I discuss starting with Craigslist every day, posting every day for a month, getting the hang of it, just getting on the truck and getting used to like bidding and stuff, and maybe even Thumbtack. It does cost money. And then slowly get your feet wet by month 3 with Google ads. I mean, technically try to do it as soon as you can, study and research it and learn it like crazy and practice. In that video, I talk about scaling to get to $1,000 a day. Once you have your ads tweaked for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and they're just running, all you need to do is, if you're in a lower population area, expand your circle, launch a truck in another location. You're gonna have to go to a higher population area if you want to get to $5,000 a day. Unless you do some crazy traditional marketing, you just fucking blow everybody up. Where I started, population was 1 million people, and that served me just fine for Google ads. So expand your search radius to where you can reach everybody. The most I ever really go is like 50 miles, but I cover a huge radius, and there's enough search volume for me to reach and spend up to $500 a day. In LA, I'm spending a solid $1,000 a day. In Ventura County, I'm spending anywhere from $300 to $700 a day. But it brings in enough calls to do $2,000 to $3,000 per truck. So I'm gonna say it time and time again. You're going to need to scale your Google ads. This is tip number 1, expanding your radius. If you don't live in a higher population area, you're gonna have to do what I did. I was living in the burbs outside of LA, and I wanted to expand the business, so I moved to LA. You're gonna have to do the same thing if you live in a small population area. You're gonna have to get as much money and make as much money as you can where you are, and expanding and driving as far as you can. And then once you scale your Google ads, you're gonna just have to either move out there or launch another location. But it really comes down to Google will bring you the business. I haven't even touched Yelp, Facebook. I need to get my Craigslist going again. This is the easy part. Scaling your Google ads. Once they're running good and you got, whether you have a Google ad management company, you're doing it yourself, maintaining and running that business, full-time employees. You're not gonna get to $5,000 a day without having 2 trucks. I've had 1 truck make $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 because of one big job, but I'm talking a consistent average. You're gonna need most likely 2 trucks like me, maybe even 3. LA, we have higher prices, probably they'll charge more money, but maybe it'll be $3,000 a day for you. Tip number 2, systems. You need to have systems in place. You need to be able to handle all the phone calls, manage the employees, the time and all that stuff. You need to be able to manage your bookkeeping. So let's start with scheduling and dispatch. I'm getting on the low 30 phone calls a day, on the high 80. You're gonna have calls coming in, you're gonna be booking, and you're gonna be dispatching to your truck drivers. I love House Call. Well, no, honestly, House Call Pro sucks. That's why I'm gonna build a competing product. I tried Workies a year ago. I liked House Call Pro better because they had the map feature, so you can see all the jobs where they are all around LA. And that's so important to me, being able to see a map. They didn't have that feature when I was using. I just checked it out the other day. They now have the map feature. But I will tell you this, I did not like the UI of Workies. It felt cumbersome. It felt hard to use. Now, this is a year ago. I have been using House Call Pro. It's great. It sends out the automated text when they're en route. I know Workies does that too. It sends the automated text when you're finished to send a review link. I feel like 25, 30% of my customers leave reviews. The user interface, the user experience, personally for me, I hated Workies compared to House Call Pro. So you're gonna need to use House Call Pro to manage your dispatch and scheduling, because you're gonna have so many phone calls coming in. Employees can see their jobs for the day. It just makes it incredibly easy. It's the only way you can handle the amount of volume you're gonna get. Put the jobs in the system, put the notes at the notes, so your employees, when they get there, they know what they're dealing with. Time clock. I don't use House Call Pros or Workies or some little dinky app. I use Homebase. It costs $50 a month. The reason why is because it's a legit time clock app. You can pay your payroll through there, and we'll talk about payroll later, but it has GPS tracking, so they can only clock in at a certain place. You see where they clock in, you see where they clock out. It's just a more serious tool for managing, because right now we have 9 employees with 2, 3 backup people. One of my trucks is in a different location. I need GPS clock in, clock out, so I can really keep an eye on my employees with their clocking in and clocking out time. So you're gonna need to have House Call Pro to manage the job schedules. I assign the jobs to trucks, not employees. So one truck has a House Call account, the other truck has a House Call Pro account. It's 1 login per truck. That's how it works. That's how I'm doing it. And I also give my guys an iPad, so they use the iPad to navigate. It has House Call Pro on there. It has Google Maps. Super convenient. And then let's talk about QuickBooks. I switched from QuickBooks to Bench. Bench is incredible. It's expensive. It's $300 a month, but they do your profit and loss, your cash flow, your income statement. They prepare you for your taxes. They do all of your bookkeeping. It's a professional bookkeeper. You don't need to touch QuickBooks. You log in, you see everything. Bench is incredible, worth every penny when you're making money. Those are the systems that I have in place to help automate everything. House Call Pro, Homebase, Bench. Those three lifesavers. Tip 3, phone calls. I feel like it deserved its own because I'm getting 30 to 80 phone calls a day. Naturally, I had to get off phones in order to manage the business because I'm looking at the ad spend every day. I'm dealing with the employees calling me every day from both trucks. Truck breaks down, maintenance, I mean just general running the operations of the business. It was impossible when I was doing 80 fucking phone calls a day. So naturally, I had to hire an operator. I started with my own iPhone, a new business line. It's got iMessage. I made an iCloud account. It was great. Customers would even FaceTime me sometimes, but I would give it to my employee. But it started to get annoying because I hired the guy Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So he would have the phone 8 to 5. I would handle phones 6 to 8 in the morning, and then from 5 to 10 p.m., I would handle the calls. Yes, I take calls. That's how desperate I am to build this business and grow it. I take calls to fucking 10 p.m. You should do the same. And with the software that I'm using, which you guys I discussed in previous videos, I could route it from certain times to my cell phone and then other certain times to the business cell phone that he was holding. But on the weekends when I took over the phones, he did Monday through Friday, I wanted the business phone. 80 phone calls a day on your personal phone, that's where I had to find a new solution. I still go back and forth sometimes, and it took me a long time to find an actual call center solution. JRA has a package where they have their own call center, but I didn't want to use JRA's call center for one of two reasons, nor their Google Ads management. In short, I'll tell you why. They have full control of your company. I'm trying to build my own company. When I hire a CEO or an operations manager, probably an operations manager to replace me, I like knowing that I have control of my Google Ads, I have control of my call center, I have control of the people, and if they have control of my Google Ads and I can't see them, and they have control of the call center, so what I did is I hired my own phone operator, which means I had to learn how to build my own call center. CallRel is great. They have a call center. It sucked. Didn't work well. Tried AirCall. Was okay. But then I think I finally found the call center tool that everybody uses to have multiple agents. I'm talking like, I think this is what like the corporations with thousands of agents use. RingCentral makes it great. It makes it very easy for the calls to route to the agent, and then he signs off, and then I sign on. I mean, I prefer the desktop app with the headset. So when I do take phones, when I have to, like when he calls in sick or he has a day off, I'm trying to find a new guy to cover weekends for me so I don't have to take phones at all anymore. When you get to the $5,000 a day mark, you're going to be getting a shitload of calls. You're gonna have to be in front of your computer. You're not gonna be able to just be out on the truck booking these calls, because you gotta book them as the calls are coming in. And with the amount of calls you're getting, you cannot be on the truck anymore. You're off the truck. Kudos to you if you can figure it out. I couldn't. So I hired a phone operator and trained him. It was the scariest part and it was the hardest part, but I trained him as well as I could, and it's going great. It's fucking awesome not having to take 80 phone calls a day every day. So that is the tip number 3. That is how you handle phone calls. It's basically part of systems, but you do need to have a phone call system in place. Tip number 4, and that is hiring people. The hardest part. I would say Google Ads is the hardest. This is the second hardest. Dealing with people, you're gonna get weirdos. You're gonna get lazy people. You're gonna get people who get drunk. You get people, when you fire people, they threaten you and say they're gonna come kill. I've had some crazy people, when I had to fire people, they lose their shit. Hiring good people is hard, and I didn't realize that. Being in the tech space as a tech entrepreneur, when I was a software engineer and I built my first not my first company, but one of the first companies we raised a lot of money for, $1.8 million. Hiring programmers is a lot easier than hiring sales and manual labor. Basically, this is a difficult job. You're not sitting in a cooled office. They're out there grinding, busting their ass for you. It's hard to find good people, but I'll tell you the places that I hired. Craigslist. In LA, the posting in the for hire section, in the job section, is $45. Posting in the gig section is $5 or $10. And then there's Indeed, which was the most expensive. ZipRecruiter was probably the second best. So Craigslist is great, but you are gonna get a lot of oddballs. I will tell you that. And here's what I did. I would post on Craigslist, $45, write out my ad, put all the, everything about the job. If you guys want to see what like my job posting looked like, let me know. I'll show you. But what I would do is I'd get a bunch of emails. I'd have them send their resume. That's the first step to making sure they're competent. Don't put your phone number, put an email, see if they can figure out how to email you their resume. And then I use Calendly. Calendly is amazing. You can like make a little 15-minute booking session so people could book a 15-minute Zoom, and it sends them the Zoom link. It makes it there's an iPhone, Android app, there's a desktop app. It makes it super easy. So I'd set up 15-minute Zoom sessions, and I'd get 10 to 20 back-to-back 15-minute interviews and just crank through interviewing these people. I would actually take a screenshot of the photo of them. I'd write down their answers to the 15 questions I asked them, give them the spiel, knock it out within 10-15 minutes, and then at the end of 10 to 20 people, I would pick out the two best, the two that came off the most normal, the most friendly. Questions were very simple. If you guys want to know what my interview questions were, just comment down below. So hiring was the hardest part. We have a pretty solid team now. Indeed is expensive. Hold off from Indeed. I would recommend ZipRecruiter. It costs $16 a day. There's some things to like boost the ad. ZipRecruiter, I got a lot of submissions too. And if you guys are wondering, I pay my guys $20 an hour plus tips. The tips are so good in this business. They average out to $30 an hour. The worst, $25 an hour. And I'm assuming it's good in your area too. We had a record tip just 2 weeks ago of $1,040. And that's two people in a truck. That was just one job. They made like $1,500 in tips that day. So at the end of the week, I mean, they're making worst case 400, best case 1,000. But I mean, it's crazy. The tips are crazy. So what do we cover? We covered where to hire: Craigslist, Indeed, ZipRecruiter. I was researching on how to hire, or actually I learned this at JunkCon, and I've seen it somewhere else before, but a referral program for bringing in friends, and if they stick around for, the first day, get $100, they stick around for 3 months, give them a little bit more, so on and so on. Calendly makes it very easy to set up 15-minute Zoom interviews, so you can just knock out interview after interview, and then you could meet them. And then what I do, I have them do a ride along with one of my best guys for training for 1 day to see if they like it, paid that day, and then I get feedback from my best guy letting me know if this guy can hang. We put him through training for a few days, boom. That's it. So that's tip 4, guys. Hiring people. So we have covered scaling Google Ads, getting your systems in place, handling massive amount of phone calls, and hiring people. Let's move on to the next tip. Tip 5, and that is dump fees and gas for your employees. So I was able to get a business credit card. So when I had one truck, it was fine. But since I didn't have good credit, my girl wouldn't get approved for the business credit card we wanted either right now. Her credit is good, but we're rebuilding it because we pulled out a whole bunch of loans and shit like that. So we couldn't get a high limit business credit card, which was really frustrating. So my employees would have my business credit card and it would get maxed out every fucking like 5 days. And then I'd have to go in, pay it off, transfer it. Luckily with Wells Fargo, the business credit card, I transfer money from the business account to the credit card, and it would be available immediately for spending. But what was really annoying is I'd get a call from the guys: Andrew, credit card got declined, got to pay it down. No, because I was having to pay this down constantly. Fucking annoying. There's solutions out there, and I'm still looking for a better solution, but I'm gonna tell you the solution that I found. Once I got the second truck though, I couldn't get another business credit card. I was gonna add another employee to that business credit card account, but since it was a secured business credit card, it just ended up being a nightmare, and I didn't do it. I should have got another one done, but the thing is, the limit was so low anyways. This was the problem. The limit was only $2,000. That sounds like a decent amount, but it's not. Truck number 1 is spending $200 to $500 a day. Gas every day, $150. Dump fees are probably another $200, $300. It racks up fast. So I finally found a solution that's temporarily working. It's called Ramp. It is amazing. They make it so easy to add employee credit cards, to do limits, to track. It's like meant for businesses who need to give out employee credit cards. I know there's other solutions out there like gas cards and stuff, but I needed something that wasn't prepaid, that was purely based on credit with a decent limit, so my guys can just pay for shit freely and keep going. Because when I add a third truck, it's going to be even more difficult. But let me explain Ramp. Ramp is working temporarily. You do have to have a minimum of $50,000 in your bank account, and they give you a credit limit based on how much money's in the account, how much trust whatever algorithm they have. So I have a decent limit with them now, but the cool thing about them is connected to your bank, and there's a checkbox that you can click that auto pays once the credit card hits 80% threshold or limit, and it makes it immediately available, the entire balance. I have a business card, so when I'm roaming around buying shit, I have the business credit card. All goes to one spot. Both trucks have their own business card. My lady, she has a business card. And when we add the third truck, another business card. And it's all utilizing the same balance, so it makes bookkeeping easy. Ramp is great. I wish I had a little bit higher of a limit, and I wish you didn't have to have fucking $50,000 sitting in your account at all times. But that's the solution for now. You know, either I got to get my credit higher so we can get a better business credit card and get multiple business cards. If you guys have a better solution, please comment below. That is what I'm doing right now. And Ramp is great. It's like a new tech company. It's all fancy. Got the bells and whistles, the really cool fancy desktop app. Makes it super simple to order cards, and it's pretty cool. You are going to need to figure out when you scale how to get credit cards to each truck. That is tip 5. So guys, we are on to tip 6. Tip motherfucking 6. This is the onboarding process of employees. This is something I am still perfecting, but I'll break it down what I am doing right now. My turnover has been pretty good, employee turnover, but I've had to fire a lot too. Like, I got guys that have been around for 6 months, but I've had guys who have left, and then I've had guys I've fired. I mean, there's a saying, hire slow, fire fast. 100% true. Now, hire slow, I do my due diligence. I get their resume. I do a 15-minute interview. I do some testing. You know, I throw them on the truck. I make sure, but there are no second chances. I mean, unless it's just like a little thing, but you gotta fire fast. I've had too much poison in the company. People that I dealt with because I thought like they couldn't be replaced. Unfortunately, everybody can be replaced. You need to protect your business. You need to make sure there are no bad people in your business. It's tough, but I've got a pretty fucking tight crew now. I'm very happy with what I have. I'm gonna show you what I'm planning to do and what I am doing. Let's start with what I am doing. I post the ads, I do the interview, I pick out the best people, and then from there, I throw them on the truck with my best guy. I have my best guy train them for a day. I pay them for the day of training to see if they like it. And if they like it, I then just throw them with one of the guys for a whole week, and I have my guys train them on the actual job, and that's been working out for me. Oh, I do have an employee contract. I want to get a real one. I've kind of just drafted up my own, just kind of like taking pieces off the internet, putting it together, things that relate to me, like, hey, if you don't turn in your 2 weeks, don't expect your check right away. If you lose the shirts and you don't return the shirts, that's $50 per shirt off your final paycheck. So you DocuSign them the employee contract, and then I also have check-in, check-out sheets that I'm doing now for each truck. I have a really cool check-in, check-out sheet. Check it out. Pretty cool, right? I got this idea from Luggo. I've been doing check-in, check-out sheets, but his check-in, check-out sheet inspired the design of mine a little bit, because mine needed a little bit of work. Then I saw his. I was like, oh, that's better than what I was doing. We have check-in, check-out sheets for each truck. They send me a picture in the morning of the check-in sheet, send me a picture at the night of the check-in sheet. They send me a photo of the inside of the truck. You know, they just check everything. So that's my onboarding process. It's pretty simple, but I'm actually doing something really cool, and I'm going to show you a little sneak peek. I am using, check it out, trainual.com, and they let you build like an onboarding process. So they go, next, read it, next, watch the video. You build out all the processes and policies so that you just send your dudes a link. They go through it, they watch whatever, they read whatever, and you can see how much they've completed. And it just makes the onboarding so much smoother. As you grow, that's what you need. You just be like, hey, what's your email? They get the Time Clock app, they get the House Call Pro app, they get the onboarding process, and then they get the employee contracts through DocuSign. Boom, done. Ready to rock and roll. I am building out my processes and policies right now, but I'm also shooting video onboarding. And I'm going to show you guys a little snippet of what I am working on.
What's up, future Jedi? This is going to be the training video. Bear with me. This might be a little cringy, but this is the best way to onboard you guys. So yeah, let's get started. Step 1, open up the app, find the first job, hit the On My Way button so it sends a text message to the customer letting them know you're on your way.
I'm going to build one for the phone operators, for the truck drivers, and then eventually for, I guess, one to replace me. That is the major things that I can think of that help me scale from $1,000 a day to $5,000 a day. You really want to make sure you have systems in place, be prepared to handle all the phone calls, know where to hire the people, get your credit cards ready, and then your onboarding stuff. If you have all this like prepped and prepared, you can just turn up the dial on the Google ads, turn up the dial on the Yelp ads, Facebook ads, and then you're ready to handle the influx of volume that's it for now, guys. You know, I am new to YouTube. Once again, I'm going to say it again. I am just kind of freestyling. I'm just kind of trying to jot down what I can think of that will help you guys. And I'm hoping as I keep practicing and putting out these videos, they're going to get better. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. As always, guys, toodles.